Hello and welcome to another episode of
A Gathering of the Masses.
Motors for the Masses.
And in this episode, we pitch a Street Scrambler against an urban retro cafe thingy and discuss why are they so cheap. So let's roll the intro and get cracking.
Crack!
And we'll use Jamie more in a bit.
Yeah, thanks.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. Down in the dirt.
Back in 1620, yes, 1620, just 4 years after the death of Shakespeare, and the same year the Mayflower sailed pilgrims from England to the Plymouth colony in America. Husqvarna was founded.
Brilliant.
Indeed. The Swedish Husqvarna started off by making rifles.
But are probably best known for making lawnmowers and chainsaws.
Roll on to 1903 when they made their first motorcycle, but they didn't really enter the modern world of motorcycling until the 1980s.
Well, they're still at it, and today we have a 401 battle.
Indeed, we have the Husqvarna 401 Vitpilen and the 401 Svartpilen. Vitpilen standing for white arrow and Svartpilen standing for black arrow. So I'm guessing Swedish for arrow is pillen.
Sounds right.
So which one's better? So, before we get into the unique styling of these bikes, let's take a look at what makes them go and what makes them stop.
Well, both bikes are powered by a single-cylinder, four-stroke, liquid-cooled 373cc engine.
Which develops 44 brake horsepower and 27 pounds-foot of torque, using a 6-speed gearbox with multi-disc slipper clutch and weighing in at under 160 kilos fueled up, although the Vitpilen is rumoured to be 1 kilo lighter. However, this slipper clutch system seems to be much more effective on the 701 Husqvarna, whereas on the 401, it only really works if you thrash it. It's not really designed to work on this bike.
Now, depending on rider ability and weight, of course,
Top speed is around 105 miles an hour with a 0 to 60 of around 5.5 seconds.
and your MPG is around 60 miles per gallon. Now, if the frame and engine look familiar...
That is because they are from the KTM 390 Duke, so not a bad start.
They use a Bosch EFI system, and the advantage of that slipper clutch system is that you don't need to keep using the clutch when shifting.
Although, as we said before, that's more for the 701 and not really designed for this 401.
Brakes are ABS with a single piston caliper on the back and 4 piston radial calipers up front.
These radials are called Bibri, Indian Brembos to you and me.
However, where both bikes have a 230mm rear disc,
the Vitpilen has a 20mm bigger front disc at 320mm.
both bikes have a ground clearance of 145mm and a seat height at 835mm.
So anyone under 5'9" might struggle, or if you've got short legs perhaps.
So one downside to this style is that these tanks only hold 9.5 litres of fuel. But let's be honest, they're not really long distance ride machines.
No, they're more day curve blasters than anything else.
One other difference between the two bikes is the tyres.
With the Street Scrambler using Pirelli Scorpion Rally tyres and the Road Urbanite using Metzler tyres, which are owned by Pirelli anyway.
Both bikes use a 110 front and a 150 on the rear, both or all on 17-inch rims.
Both bikes have the same suspension setup with the same travel.
Upside down forks on the front and a monoshock on the rear.
So now it's time to hear them and ride them.
What were you doing down there?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, I wouldn't actually.
So we will get our gear off and have a chat. So, initial impressions. Well, I have to say, obviously we've both ridden both bikes and Malcolm's had a ride of them as well. Now, Malcolm did say that he felt the seat was a little bit hard.
I agree.
And sort of digs in the inner thighs because it's quite thin, and then you've got the bodywork.
Yeah, the plastic's just protrude out a little bit wider than what the seat does, and it just sort of digs in your leg a bit. Maybe just because maybe my weight, but we'll see.
I personally didn't find that an issue.
No.
Especially on that one. This one maybe a little bit more so because you're leaning over and you're pushing into the sides. That one you're more upright, so I didn't really feel it on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of good. Must be personal preference. Both of them seem quite hard seats to me, but
they are quite hard, but I think that goes with the style of what it is. Ride-wise, cannot fault it at all. They've got plenty of torque, plenty of pickup, plenty of go. 6 gears, and you know, you easily get up to speed. No problem at all.
I mean, we had no problem with doing any, you know, overtaking, accelerating, or anything like that.
what I also found was that even though it's wet and damp and horrible outside, I didn't find any problems with these tyres. I mean, we were being a bit cautious. We didn't want to lean them right over in the corners. But I had complete confidence that they were both going to go around the corners.
Yeah, I thought maybe it would make a bit of difference on, you know, the feel of the bike. But to be honest, apart from the handlebar height, the bikes feel pretty much identical to me. But, yeah, maybe that's just me.
OK, ride-wise and pickup, I 100% agree. They both feel as torquey, obviously got the same engine and the same weight. They are both as torquey, no real issues whatsoever as far as that's concerned. But personally, I felt that was a much nicer ride. I like this higher bars. I don't necessarily like this lean over style.
Yeah, I think it's the position that you're used to. I was quite comfortable on that one. This one just felt just as comfortable, but just a bit higher on the bars for me to sit up a little bit more. But
OK. I mean, the unusual thing about it is when you look at it, you think, that's not a cafe racer. But when you get on it, you think, do you know what? It feels very cafe racer.
it's because of the size of it as well. It is a dinky little bike, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. Despite its high seat height.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like the suspension on that one feels quite sporty. You know, it's quite stiff. It's not supple, really. But just saying that, going down, you know, the lanes, the bumpy lanes, and that, it perfectly damped really well. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the dash, as I say, really good to see. I don't know in bright sunlight how that would affect the dials. We didn't really get that opportunity.
We weren't that lucky.
No, I'll tell you what I did notice though, even though we did have blue skies, I'll tell you what I did notice is that red change gear light, rev limiter,
Starts early.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, starts early.
I mean, it was on for a while before I changed gear. But yeah, I was very impressed. The switches feel very solid. You know, it's good quality. That's what I liked about it. It really is good quality. I love the finish of the dash. And even where it's got Vitpilen and Svartpilen written on the yoke, really nice. I also love the way they've put this headlight together.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like it's made for the bike. It's not an afterthought. It's definitely made with this style of bike in mind. All the little features and the way I really like it. I really can't praise that enough. I do like how much effort they put into the design.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that surprised me, which I really like, is actually these switch gears actually light up. So they're illuminated,
yes.
Which is great at night. You know, for some reason you're just not used to been riding for too long, if you know what I mean, and it's all automatic. But you know, it does light up to let you know what the actual instruments do.
Yeah, yeah. Brake-wise, again, both pull up really nicely. This one had a bit of squeal on the brakes, but that might just be because we were riding through quite a bit of water.
Water, dirt.
Yeah. Other than that, no problems with the brakes. They both pull up, as I say, very nicely. I will say, however, because of the position of this, you can't see a huge amount out of these mirrors.
No, the mirrors, because the bars are quite wide, even on with the drop bars, you know, the mirrors seem to just be straight in your arms in the way. You have to sort of really tuck in and look round. I found that on both of them, to be honest.
I didn't have too much, a little bit on this one, more so on this one.
Yeah.
Annoyingly so on this one. However, I do wonder whether undoing these clamps and moving them round a bit, whether that would give a little bit extra visibility. I don't know.
Possibly.
But yeah, got a lovely exhaust note.
Yeah.
When you're on it, it's got that sort of a 400, 650cc thumper sound.
It's still got that single cylinder, high gear, low rev, rattly, clunky sort of sound.
You're going to get that with every single cylinder.
Above 3,000 RPM, it was, you know, really smooth. It was lovely.
Oh, mostly I was impressed with the way it pulled. They're revvy bikes, so you do need to rev them.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed that if I'm doing slow speeds and I'm in a 4th, 5th or 6th gear, it doesn't really like it.
Yeah, I mean,
you've got to drop it down to 3rd.
what I found about it is you know, as long as you're not a hooligan and you don't want to be doing stupid speeds, it's a perfectly good fun bike. You can have lots of fun on one of these.
Keyword, exactly that.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted it to be drier so we could really.
I mean, if you had half a
corners.
dozen people on these bikes, you've got a similar machine that performs similarly, it'll be a great day out.
Absolutely, yeah. But like you say, and I'll tell you what else I noticed as well, is that despite the fact that they're very open and very naked, very little wind resistance.
Yeah, I can't fault anything really, apart from the seat is a bit hard for me. Other than that, overall it was just a great all-round package, to be honest. The engine was great, it was responsive, the suspension's stiff but not being over too stiff and too soft for me. Yeah, great little bike.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I say, looking round it, when you're on it, it's quite pleasant to look at as well. You've got, I mean, the finish on the bezel on here, the fuel filler, it's nice and clunky, nice and solid, doesn't feel cheap, doesn't feel like it's going to snap off when you use it. As I say, the fit and finish is what is very impressive on this indeed. And incidentally, the Husqvarna symbol, do you know where that comes from?
Guns, isn't it?
It is. It harks back to the days when they were rifle makers. That's the rifle sight. So yeah, if you didn't know that, if you did, then well done.
Bit of education for us all.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think that's all we have to say on this now.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the look, shall we?
Yeah.
In more detail.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too sure about the looks of the machine when I first see it. But since I've been riding it, to be honest, it is growing on me. It's not as bad as I thought.
But, on the whole,
to be honest,
like it or loathe it?
for the money, it's a great overall bike, and the looks, to be honest, I wouldn't mind having one in the shed.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer a 701.
Now you're being greedy.
No, I just want a bit more power.
Yeah, there is that.
It's, however, if you're looking to get a bike that's A2 compatible, perfect.
Yeah.
I would say. I don't think you've got any issues with keeping up with, you know, any other 500cc or even a 650.
Yeah. Again, as I say, it's all about having plenty of fun without going scary, stupid speeds, and it would give you oodles of fun just going out with your mates or going out for a cruise. Either way.
Yeah, they're not blisterers at the top end, but as I say, when I say they keep up with you, like your 650 and stuff like that,
It's got the acceleration.
Yeah, it's got, you know, and it's it's enough to enjoy. Let me say, it's enough to, you know, it doesn't leave you wanting more. It doesn't think you don't get off it thinking, well.
Yeah, no, I've had a fun day riding
Yeah.
it. A fun day riding
Indeed,
it.
I think that's the main thing to get across. You don't get off it disappointed. There you go. Trying to bumble my way through what I was trying to think about. I do apologise. It's been an exciting day.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having another go.
Yeah.
Why not?
Bring on the 701s.
Yes, definitely.
Now, both bikes have this unique design, which I absolutely love.
For me, it's a bit off-putting, as in it looks like something you would buy out of IKEA, as in it's a bit quirky.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so I get they're a bit Marmite, but it's Marmite I quite like, not like the brown sticky stuff. I don't like that Marmite.
Do you like Marmite?
You do?
I do.
What about
like-
this Marmite?
No, that's like white Marmite.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's not Marmite.
Well, because Marmite's brown.
Yes.
Okay, well I neither like Marmite nor the style of the tank on these bikes.
Okay, so it clearly is very Marmite. I don't like, so let's just to clear this up.
Yep.
I don't like brown sticky food Marmite. I love these Marmites. You do not like these Marmites, but you do like the brown sticky Marmite.
Well, I like these Marmites, I just don't like this Marmite.
Okay.
You don't like Marmite or these Marmites.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Fuck.
I think we've covered it. These aren't for everyone, but for someone.
So this actual tank isn't actually a tank, it's a plastic cover. The tank is under there.
And these are where you attach your model aeroplane wings to for aerodynamic.
It's not, it's unique. It's actually it's aesthetically pleasing.
It's weird.
It's different. Embrace different. We are in a diverse world and this is a diverse bike. It's a, you know what it is? It's a non-binary bike. There you go, I've summed it up.
Because it's got wings.
Welcome to the world of the non-binary bike.
I think it's fair to say that both bikes are very modern in their design and features.
Indeed, both bikes have LED indicators. LED rear lights. LED brake lights. And LED headlights. Wow, bright.
There are some differences between the models, one being the bars. On one of the models they have drop-down bars and one has a traditional type bar. Okay, so this one has a split rear seat, as you can see, and the other one has one-piece rear seat.
Svartpilen, Vitpilen.
And the Svartpilen comes with this luggage rack on the tank, whereas on the Vitpilen it comes as an optional extra.
And the Svartpilen has this sort of brushed look, although it's a plastic mudguard, whereas this one's got a sticker on it, and it's also plastic. Wheels are different colour too. The Vitpilen comes with a sort of shiny grey exhaust, whereas the Svartpilen has a black one and an extra little shield on here for some reason, and both of them have this wraparound number plate arrangement. So just to sum up our thoughts on this bike, out of the two, I'm not quite sure which I prefer to ride, to be honest. I like the ride of both of them. However, for me, I do prefer the higher handlebars. On the road, brilliant. I'll be honest, they're punchy, they're loud enough without being abusively loud. There's really smooth engines. I really can't fault it, to be honest, at all. What are your thoughts?
My thinking is that the seat is a little bit firm, and I wouldn't want to sit at traffic lights for too long because it kind of, with my leg length as well, it kind of digs in a little bit, but I think you'd get past that.
Okay.
I also prefer the higher bars. The engine's great, it's really punchy. So yeah, overall, brilliant.
Yeah, that KTM unit is a fantastic unit. Really impressed with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, as you know, I'm a bit of a hooligan, so I do like the lower bars.
Okay.
For me.
All right.
I'm so used to riding sports bikes, it just feels comfortable to me.
What do you think on the cornering?
It handled really well. To be honest, it's less bumpy than what I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be a bit stiff, but actually it was all right.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. They've actually done a really good job.
They're nice to manoeuvre as well.
They are, yes. Yeah, whether you're manoeuvring it slow speeds or high speeds, or even just moving it around yourself, as long as you're more than 5'10", it's not really an issue. Riding wise, so easy to ride. The dash is quite clear, although I can see on a sunny day it might be a bit difficult to see some of those instruments. But let's be honest, you'll be doing that most of the time rather than that.
Really simple thing. I quite like that it says side stand when your side stand's down.
Really? You need to be told that?
Well, no, I don't, but it's nice that it's there.
Okay.
Well, my old Honda had an orange light. The Yamaha doesn't, and very occasionally I pop it into gear with its stand still down. So.
Well, that's just your failing then, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's just you being a bell end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so prices.
So these bikes were £5,599.
But at the moment, Lings are selling these at just £3,999. I'm really tempted. Although, I'll be honest, I'm more tempted by the 701. But then again, I'm also tempted by the Benelli 752, so we'll see.
So why are they so cheap?
Well, there's only one reason. They just weren't selling. That's it. I don't understand why. People need to ride them. I can only assume it's down to these Marmite looks.
Yeah, the wings,
Yeah. Plus, because they didn't get any wings with it. They were expecting wings.
maybe. But you can look past that, over the handlebars and wherever it is you're going to.
They are an amazing bike, especially for a penny under £4 grand, a pound even. That really is cheap. I am very tempted, I really am. But I do think the 701 is going to be better for me, but that's only because I'm used to riding 1000cc. Might be fine for you because you're used to a 600.
Yeah,
So,
I still prefer more cylinders than one though.
really? Greedy?
Yep.
I see your point though, I really do.
So that brings us to the end of a gathering for the masses.
Indeed, we'll be back next time with more bikes, more cars, and lots of other stuff like we usually say. And Bob is coming back very soon. And yes, look, Malcolm's here, despite his weird eye thing.
It's not a weird eye thing, it's just a weird eye thing.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. Please tune in next time. And until then, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun.
Arse.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're right.